Today I'm going to give you 3 key tips on how to hit long irons from the fairway with a great strike and hit the golf ball onto the green. Check the video out. What are the problems that people suffer with the long irons? Well, the first thing is you need speed. If you haven't got enough speed to hit a long iron, then you need to be using a hybrid. It makes life a little bit easier. But this video is also good for hybrids, so carry on listening if you feel that it's no good for you. Trust me, it helps with the hybrids. A long iron, we need speed. What are the problems we see with most people? We see that a long iron has not a lot of loft on the club face. And when we see this club on the ground, it hasn't got a lot of loft, the first thing we start thinking is we've got to get it up in the air and we've got to hit the golf ball a long way. So what do I see? People forcing the shot too much here, throwing themselves behind it, trying to get that ball up in the air. And what do? They hit the ground, they hit it on top, they're using their wrists, they're scooping under it, the angle of attack is wrong, the impact's completely wrong, the ball goes short and it goes offline. Every now and then you're lucky and you manage to find the ball in a good lie, you scoop underneath it and it goes, pretty much in the right direction, but it's not going to be consistent. So what do we need to consider? What are these 3 tips? Tip number 1, ball position. We've got to get the ball position right for a long iron. Right, so I've got myself in a position where my feet are together, I'm pointing to the target, the club face at the target, my body alignment is parallel to that, parallel left. I'm going to move my left foot approximately 2 golf balls, so 2.5 golf balls to the left. Then I'm going to open my right foot so they're just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Gives me a bit of stability and it allows me to have space for rotation and creating power. The reason the golf ball's not centered, because it's not a short iron, okay, we don't want to be hitting down on a golf ball like -4 or -5 degrees. We want to be almost, I'm not saying swinging up on the golf ball, but we want to be swinging down -2, -1 on the golf ball, and we kind of just brush that golf ball away. Okay, so we're just trying to, just like bruise the grass after the golf ball. So the ball position has to be slightly left of center so the downward movement isn't too aggressive. That's the first tip. Second tip, very important. When we make our backswing, we're trying to keep width. What happens with most players? They're picking up their arms. They're lifting their arms. They're not rotating their body. If I'm picking up my arms, my body's not going to turn. It feels I've made a big backswing, but I haven't. A big backswing is when I rotate 90 degrees, my hips 45 degrees. I'm now behind the golf ball. Okay, I'm not swaying off it, I'm rotating behind it. My right glute is going back. I feel I have a powerful rotation around my right leg on the inside, the instep of the right foot. Now I'm in a great position. So what do I want to feel? I want to feel that everything works from my center. I'm brushing the grass with the club on the way back. The club head is staying outside of my hands. I'm just trying to keep everything working. It's almost as if I'm leaving the club head behind my body and then my hands and then the club are going. That's the feeling I want to create. I will show you this position here. That's the feeling I want to create. So the club is staying outside the hands. My body really rotates. I can't even hold this position for long because it's so tight. And if you look at the length of my backswing, it's quite short, okay? But what I've done is I've kept, the width. Look at that. This is a powerful swing. This will allow me to attack that golf ball. So tip number 2, create width in the backswing, use the body, keep the swing a little shorter, don't go long, that's not the key. Tip number 3, excuse me, tip number 3, the important thing is when we're in this position, what do we want to do? We want to drive into that right leg. You imagine there's a wall here on the outside of my left shoulder. Okay, so there's a wall here and I need from here to break that wall. My left knee goes into the wall, my left shoulder is going into that wall, I'm driving my hip into that wall, I'm now working into my left side for a right-handed golfer. I feel I'm creating energy, I'm leaving the club behind, I don't need to use it yet. So now I'm in a powerful position. From here, this is the best bit, I whip it through. I just create power from here. When I'm here, I turn and whip. And that really makes the difference. 3 simple steps. Let me give it a try. Let's see what happens. So position, ball position, 2 to 2.5 balls. feet quite wide. Keep the width in the swing, good body rotation, and drive into that left side. Yeah, that was really good. I felt I hit down on the golf ball. I felt I bruised the ground, I brushed the grass after the golf ball. I was very pleased with that. Let's try one more. So let's go for it again. Feet together, 2.5 balls to the left, right foot out to the, keep nice and wide in your stance. Keep the width, use the body, feel it come from the center, then drive into that left leg. Yeah, that is awesome. That I really ripped. I hit it right out the middle. Once again, no big divots. I just brushed that grass, but I brushed it after the golf ball. That allows me to have a ball divot strike. I released the power on the golf ball, so there was maximum energy. That ball went up in the air and it flew a long way. Use this also for the hybrids, guys. It's very, very simple. 3 simple steps. Follow them. You will find a difference. Be your best.